Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the Slim Nations One on Ones. And the title of this show is "The Word." And let's see, are we getting audio here? Okay. Well, it's at 100%. And let's see if we can do some plus here. Okay. Don't want that. But anyway, that was for to share. And hey, everybody, how you doing? Slim Overton here with the hat on. With the hat on, just testing that out and see. And with this kind of hat, I can't put my earphones on. I might have to use buds for this. But anyway, title of this is "What's the Word?" And we are here, Slim Overton, here to spread the word or talk about the word. Yeah, it used to be this song out by Cameo, "What's the Word?" And it was also a saying. Uh, when somebody agreed with you. And I think some people still use it today. Word, or if you wanted to know what was going on, you know, for the weekend, where the party was, or just in general, what was going on, you say, "What's the word? What's the word? What's going on?" And yeah, that was the saying. So here I am with my hat. It's not quite a cowboy hat, but you see a lot of cowboy things going on, a lot of cowboy themes. Since Beyonce did her cowboy album and it's been successful, and the line dance, boots on the ground, that has sort of a cowboy theme. Most of the people you see line dancing to that have on the cowboy theme hats. This is more of I don't know, just a hat. It's not exactly a cowboy hat, but it's my version of the cowboy hat, the modern cowboy. But anyway, the boots on the ground, that's really, where your fans at. It's really a popular dance. And every so often we get one of those popular line dances, but those other ones never go away. The Cuban shuffle and all that. And at cookouts, and this is the time of the year for cookouts outside and celebrations and uh, family reunions and everything like that. So that the boots on the ground song and the dance that goes along with it will dominate will dominate those events that's coming up. So the Slim Nation one on ones, I dropped the podcast name, even though this is still going to be a podcast. But it's now just called the Slim Nations one on ones. And you're going to see a lot more of it. Probably with last summer, we kind of suspended Portsmouth Coffee Talk during the summer months. We may do some shows in June, but the summer months we usually kind of take a break from that. But I will continue the Slim Nations one on ones podcast where I have those one on ones conversations with people, and it would give me more time to do that, of course, and to schedule people, and probably get on that schedule where, like I always wanted to be, every Tuesday and Thursday morning, you have the show. It'll be a time where you can look forward to catching the Slim Nation one on ones. But I do accommodate for guests that can't make it during that time, or whenever they can, and I can. So you might see some Sunday shows that will be live. You might see some shows where I will do with them when they can as a recording, and then show it during the Monday show. So it's all going to be up to myself and the guests whether we go live or do the recording. My preference is live. With all the things that can go wrong with live, I like that part of it, the spontaneity, is it nility or spontaneity? Spontaneity of that. You know, keep the mistakes in. You might come in and do a little editing, and it might be some shows that might uh, need to be recorded because we might be on location and we might need to record it and come back and put it together because it might, be a stop and start type of thing, especially if I'm at a business and we uh showing the business and walking around. So uh we're gonna we're gonna look at that and see how that goes. So trying to see if I can see myself on. Okay, here I am live. Okay, I can hear it, and let me turn the sound down and expand that thing. Okay. All right. Just wanted to make sure I'm filming myself. But yeah, just to update me. I always come with these updates about what we're doing. And when you have your own show or you're trying to do your own thing, you can kind of experiment with different things. So we're doing that and trying to get to the point where we can really put 100% into this, as well as the Mary Red Nelson alumni, Panther Nation alumni channel that we have on YouTube. So we're going to concentrate a lot of our efforts on YouTube, uh, and then I can share it with other platforms. And sometimes we might go live with other platforms, but we're going to really be concentrating the show on my YouTube channel and focus there, um, in order to build the channel more. And that's another reason to sort of put maybe 100% into the Slim Nation one-on-ones in order to build the channel up on YouTube. My uh, my destination of choice right now is building the YouTube channel and then maybe adding everything else later. But I want to build a base on YouTube, and I think the way to do it is one way: be consistent, have a regular show that people can know that's coming every week, and I want to do that twice a week. But then also having these pop up shows that will also be a part of the channel, but I will be expecting to really build a channel on the designated days that I schedule to be the Slim Nation one-on-one show. And it's kind of hard to keep this up, but yeah, so we can build that audience and at least get the people to subscribe. Doing these shows, a lot of people are not going to watch every show, but they will tend to tune in at least for a little while to see what's going on your regularly scheduled shows, which I'm anticipating it to be Tuesday and Thursday mornings. Time to be announced. Thinking about 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. And for the people that can come on during those scheduled times, fine, that'll be fine. We'll do that. And the ones that can't, as I mentioned earlier, we will work around it. And since it is summer and the weather is nice, we'll do some on location uh, shows and trying to get all this and all the equipment I have is like amateur equipment, but we do the best. We're trying to build up to that point where I can upgrade a lot of these things for the ultimate sound that you'll be getting, uh, and the visual that we'll be getting, and my abilities to uh, get really good at editing. And I'm studying that now. Uh, I have to study uh, through YouTube tutorials, and I look at different people and try to compare and see, the consistencies in different people, and somewhere between the different people. saying the same thing. That's what I base what I want to learn. You know, you have some people that be talking about the same thing, but they have different ways of approaching it. So I look for the similarities from different people, and that helps me know that I'm probably going in the right direction as far as getting good at editing and all those things like that. And it's pretty much a one man show, and the only way I can expand and probably have people involved is to get those subscriptions up and get those viewerships up and get to the point where I see a lot of the big boys doing. Not expecting to be like that because we're kind of local here, but we can be uh, more spread out by concentrating on the YouTube, I believe, and uh, hopefully being able to monetize the show to the point where if I need assistance, I can, compensate people for helping me out, you know, rather than being a one man show. It's kind of difficult to do these things by yourself, but it can be done if you just take your time. Mostly, if you're recording, that's when it takes most of the time. If you want to do some really good editing to enhance your videos and make it more visually pleasing to people that might want to tune in. So, kind of decide my one-on-ones conversation is usually an hour. Some people say a half an hour is enough, but I just think an hour. Uh, and even if you can't sit for an hour and watch the whole thing, you can watch part of it at one point and stop it and come back and watch the rest of it. Because some of the people that I talk to, it's their stories are so compelling, and a lot of times they don't know that they have that much to say until they start talking, until a few questions might come from me. And a lot of times I have questions I might be thinking about, I never get to, or um, because the direction of the conversation can turn uh, because of the flow of the conversation. So we, I really enjoy it. I really enjoy talking to people and getting them to talk about themselves and what makes them tick. And that's what Slim Nation One on Ones is all about. All the advice or the tutorials I see about having a channel on YouTube or anywhere else is making sure you have some kind of direction or purpose for your show. And the purpose for the Slim Nation is to follow my guests and their journeys and their accomplishments that they're experiencing now and how they got there, and which is always an interesting story. Sometimes they're focused at an early age, and sometimes they take a lot of trips around the sun before they figure out exactly what they want to do. But either way, it's always so interesting, and having authors on is interesting. So I have a show that's coming up this Sunday at 2 o'clock. Uh, I'll put out the announcement about that. It's a guest I've had on before, and we're going to talk about some other things. And so I'll be looking also to partnering up with certain people on different subjects. Uh, so there will be some themes to the Slim Nation one on ones. It won't always be random guests. It'll be some days where you can look forward to this particular theme. And don't know how much politics we'll do, but we will have I will have some where some individual guests will come on, and I can have that one-on-one conversation with them about their political views on a local level as well as on a state and national level. So we will go there too. We will go there too. But my whole purpose is to be entertaining, informative, and share some information that might be of interest to you. that might uh, open up your eyes about the particular guests that are on that day that you didn't know about that guest because you've only known them since they were grown. And some of the people that you might have known through childhood that you might not have known that went on during their lifetime. So that's the word. We talk about what's the word. That's the word that's going to be coming out of the Slim Nation, and you're going to see me in different hats. You've seen me in a lot in the caps, my Slim Nation caps, and the Horseman Coffee Talk caps, and I have these hats, these summer hats. So you're going to see a lot of that. Different hats, and you might even see occasionally my bald head. So uh, not ashamed of my bald head. I just like the hats. I just like the hats. So um, if you have any suggestions about particular topics or subjects that you and I can talk about, or a person that will make a good guest. I was talking to someone the other day about them coming on and being a guest. I thought they had an interesting story, but then they turned the tides on me and gave me a person that might be interested in or have an interesting story that's living in Texas now, but is from Portsmouth. Grew born and raised in Portsmouth, went to school here, but living in Texas. And I like those stories as well. People that live somewhere else now that have careers in another state and even another country, but were born and raised here in the city of Portsmouth. Or even if they weren't born and raised mm, here in the city of Portsmouth, we will talk to them too. Trying to bring back one of my first, if I may add, just one of my first interviews when I was trying to start the Slim Nation. It was just called the Slim Nation then. Was my college roommate, my first college roommate. His name was John Pittman, Johnny Pittman. We call him Boo back there in college. And he was the one that started calling me Slim. Most people don't know I didn't get the name, or I wasn't called Slim until my freshman year of college, even though it could have fit during my high school years of growing up because that's what they call certain people call my father Slim Overton. And so, but he started calling me. He was from New York, from Brooklyn, New York, and he started calling me Slim the first day we met, and it stuck. And I granted a lot of people that were in college with me at the time at Virginia Union probably didn't even know my real name. All they knew was Slim. Yeah, they would have to have been in class with me, or someone had to tell them what my real name was, or they might have just asked. But yes. So um, been talking to him back off and on, and having him back on to have the conversation because that first video we did, he came out clear, but my side, the connection wasn't good. So definitely want to do that over again and see what he's doing now. He ended up leaving college and start became a professional model and ended up in California acting in movies. He was in the Five Heartbeats, had small parts in the Five Heartbeats, and has been in movies with Wesley Snipes and has done some things. And he's still kind of in the movie business now, more directing. So we'll catch up with him, Johnny Pittman, Johnny Boo Pittman, uh, over the summer, hopefully. And like I said, I have more time now. I will have more time now to really sit down and book the people, the guests I want to have on because I always like to have a conversation, a pre-show conversation with them, and some of the people I meet for the first time when I contact them and want them to be a guest. And I've been lucky that most people have agreed to be my guest. I had a few people that said, "Man, at this time they, had some classmates tell me they were not ready for that." And I really wanted to have classmates on, my high school classmates on, because it's been 50 years since we were in high school, and it's nice to catch up with what they're doing now, and talk about some of the days and some of the challenges we had when we were coming up in high school in the late 60s, early 70s. So, but I'm still going to work on having classmates as my guests on the one-on-ones, Slim Nation one-on-ones, but going to have a variety of guests, and so stay tuned. Stay tuned. We're working on probably having attorney Eric Moody on. Made the initial contact with him. The story with him, our mothers, his mother and my mother, were grew up together. They grew up together, and we didn't really know each other until we were grown, because we didn't grow up in the same city. Or I think he was a little ahead of me as far as school was concerned. So, but not that much. But we knew each other as adults. So looking to schedule him for one of the shows. So what else? I'll be looking for the suggestions from you, the audience. I'll be looking for you people on YouTube to like and subscribe and encourage me and tell me what you like or what you don't like. But wait until the shows. Now you can go on my channel right now and look at some of the interviews I've had already. And if you get a chance, do that. Go there and like and subscribe to those shows, because the viewerships on those shows have been low, and we're working on trying to get those shows more exposure, and as going forward, making sure we have a bigger audience. I really think it's going to a lot of factors going to be into play. Is how I promote it, and how interesting the guests are and our conversations are, and what YouTube decides to share with a broader audience. So I have to follow some of the suggestions they give in order to be on their radar to help me out as far as sharing the information with a broader audience. So I'm gonna try to do all the things that I need to do that's necessary to make this channel successful. It's never too late. At this point now, I'm 70 years old, and a lot of people that start channels are much younger. Of course, I didn't start doing this social media thing. Uh, we were doing the Portsmouth Coffee Talk for a while, but my focus now is to really uh, get the subscribers up and get the viewerships up, and make this a thing with some people. And so we're gonna try real hard as uh, making it something that people might want to see. And I see Shona. Hey, Shona, and Shona. While we're talking, Shona is going to be a big part of this, and we have done a few shows already. We already have in the can. We already have a show that we want to do. Uh, that we're working on. We want to make sure that we have it together where our content, don't want to be as scripted, but we're going to have to be somewhat scripted with at least each particular show with a theme that we can follow, and sort of go from there. Am I right, Shona? I think we will be, and we're not going to give up on our vision that we have for a show. And that's what I was talking about earlier. You know, what I want to do with this channel is have a variety of things. I'm not trying to be a network or anything like that, but I just wanted to have this channel and do a variety of things, do some of the things that I have a vision for, the one-on-ones, talking with different people, and to have that particular show with Shona and I. She graduated from high school with me. I see Norcom. You see behind me there. I see Norcom Mighty Greyhounds, and we graduated in 1972, and She doesn't mind that because now you can figure out our age, her age too. You know, so I already exposed mine, so she has to be close or somewhere, not unless she skipped 4 or 5 grades, even though she skipped 1 grade. Excuse me. Oh, she just said, "What's up?" Okay, yes, and Jonah, what's up to you? And I'm talking about you, but I'm letting people know to look forward to stay tuned the for our show, the Slim and Shona show, um, and we're gonna we're gonna have a good time with that. And don't know if we might bring on occasional guests there that might be our classmates or someone from her hometown or my hometown. But we're gonna have fun with it. And only thing we have to do, I think, Shona, and we'll talk going forward. Hopefully, for the week is out. Setting a time where people can know that the Slim and Shona show is on at this time, and we want to carefully pick a time, especially during the summer months. Where but one thing about concentrating on the YouTube as opposed to and sharing it with other sites. Uh, it's just I believe right now, and we can try this. Just concentrating on the channel of YouTube will give us a better chance of really creating a bigger audience when we have that that sole responsibility at this point. You know, uh, concentrating on our YouTube channel. So it's definitely a blessing, and yes, indeed. And Shona, I hope I hope it looks like you know you're agreeing with me, and so I appreciate that, and we'll talk soon. But anyway, really look forward to really looking forward to the Slim and Shona show because I think that's going to be a really something fun that we can do. Even though I have to stay on that. Even though our purpose is to have fun with it, but life is can be serious. Yeah, I think what threw us off last time, we came on the show and we wanted to have fun with it, but life be lifing. You know, some issues came up that we found ourselves talking seriously about something. So I think we just have to give in to that because that's going to happen. We can have a theme about talking about clowns, and then next thing you know, we're talking about President Trump. Wait a minute, that's the same thing. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, but anyway, we can talk about something serious, but but like I said, the main premise of our show is to have fun and coming from different locations, different states, and just comparing some of the things that happen on a daily basis that are so similar, but from different places. The people you meet, often when I go out of town, I'll meet somebody that reminds me of somebody from my hometown. So people are pretty much the same all around. I think it's even if you travel the world, you'll find that to be true. But yeah, that's what we plan on doing. And here on the Slim Nation, of course, we're gonna concentrate on reading too with this group. If I have books that I have read, yes, shown us all about life, and life can be funny, it can be up, it can be down, and even some of the even some of the things we have been through in life that were very serious. Sometimes if you can look back and reflect on them and laugh about it because it was funny, you know. And some things that stay serious. Some things really stay serious, but it's worth talking about it because you never know who you might uh, identify with when you bring up some of the things that you have been through. So okay, wait a minute. That's what happens when you try to do two things at once. Okay. Now I'm just really messing up. Let me just keep my hands to myself. But anyway, yeah, and we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on and be doing a lot of things. And I've been up here rambling and talking for 30 minutes, and you know I'm going to get off soon. But it just had a lot of things I wanted to say about moving this channel forward and concentrating more on this channel, and kind of stepping back with the Portsmouth Coffee Talk, at least for the summer. So sometimes it can be trying to book guests for that show, which is more politically, uh, more of a politically subject show, and trying to set up all the guests for that and doing that. Um, I can't give 100% to my real passion. Not saying that Postman Coffee Talk was my passion, because we've been doing that since the pandemic and have some great shows on that. And I encourage you to go to the Portsmouth Coffee Talk channel and watch some of the shows we have on there. And some of the interviews we have up there are timeless, with the people that agreed to be there and talk to us about different subjects. And so please go up there and watch those, and hopefully we'll come back with that after the summer break, just like we did last summer. And we came back and had and tried some different things, and then had to sort of pivot away from that. But we'll come back. We'll post a coffee talk with something different or much of the same. So, uh, but really, we really pay attention to what we present here on the Slim Nations one on ones, and the Slim and Shona show. And you might see some other combinations. You might see some other guests. But if any guests that come on the Slim and Shona show will be just that, guests. The main focus on that show will be us. But but to have guests on there will be a treat, a special treat for us, and hopefully for you, the audience that's watching. But as far as the Slim Nation one on ones, I have some people that are agreeing to come up here and have a conversation with me that you really going to enjoy. And I have to go back to this. Please go on the channel, the Slim Nation one on ones. And that's what it's called now. You can look it up on YouTube. That's the name of the channel. Drop the podcast part of it. Doesn't have to be called a podcast to be a podcast. So I just dropped the podcast, and it's called the Slim Nation one on ones, because I might, I like the one on ones with one person, but it could be with a group of people. So we're gonna you can go on and look at that, but please go on there and look at some of the the past conversations I've had with people, especially the most recent ones, and look at the shorts that I have brought posted up there. And hopefully, if you look at the shorts, that'll lead you to looking at the full video. But the people that came on there and had a conversation with me really shared some great information about themselves and what they're doing, and some of the things that they're doing. And hopefully, some of those things will be encouraging to some, especially younger people that are trying to decide what they want to do in life. So, um, yeah, us is, but yeah. So I think that's about it. I wanted to see if this comes through. Has some. I got this machine over here now. It works. It might come through on it if you heard that clapping, Shona, let me know. Say yes. But I've had problems having that machine work when I use another platform that I have called StreamYard, and I use that a lot when I'm doing my regular shows. So I'm trying to figure out how I can make sure that okay, that's not funny. It's laughing at me. I can make sure that that comes on, and Okay, that's the debut song. So I guess I'll use that when when we have something new coming up. But anyway, we're gonna be trying a lot of different things to enhance what we do here, and hopefully you'll like it and you'll tune in and be a part of what we trying to do here. And just stay tuned for the different hats. Uh, I'm never gonna go away from the caps. You're gonna see those caps, and like I said earlier, you might see the occasional bald head. Okay, but you're gonna see most of the time you're gonna see a hat. That's my thing. I'm a hat guy, so I'm trying to also throw some hats on doing that, as long with my caps. My caps are my favorite, but we're gonna. My wife wants me to, you know, occasionally wear a hat. But I just used to not be comfortable with the hats. So, uh, but I'm gonna start switching up and doing some doing some hats. So okay, thanks. I'm glad you heard the clapping on this. So we're gonna have to try to figure out how I can make sure on the other platform we get the clapping in there, because I've always had the machine, but what I was using, I couldn't incorporate it in that. Right now, I'm going straight from the studio, from the YouTube studio live, coming to you now, and that's how we are doing it, and have some other little things. uh, so even if somebody says something that's great, what else I got up here? And sometimes people deserve a that was that was a face slap twice, and you can be asked all the proud. Whenever I'm proud of somebody, that's what you're gonna hear. You're proud of somebody saying, and of course we know something is coming. The storm is coming. That means something serious is about to happen, or something really bad is about to happen, because here comes the storm. But right after the storm, you probably need a little bit of laughter, and the laughter is kind of short, so that's probably appropriate for me, because when I tell a joke, that's about how long that's about how long the laughter lasts. So, I'll try to refrain from telling too many jokes. Maybe Shona doing our show will be the joke teller. Who knows? Who knows what secret skills we have until we use them. Sometimes we suppress what we really do well, because we don't think we do it well, but we do. So thanks everybody for watching. I really appreciate it, and we will see you when we see you. And what else did I want to do? One thing I can't play my. So I'm figuring all this out, because on the other show we have a opening theme, we have a closing theme. So I'm trying to put all these together, so all these things will work together when we do it. Uh, with my little soundboard here and having the opening theme. So I'll figure it out, y'all. I'll figure it out one of these days. Anyway, we want to thank you for listening. And please, again, make sure you subscribe to the Slim Nations One on Ones channel and look at the videos that are there. And if you want to know who Shona is, I've been talking a lot about her. Stroll down on my page, the Slim One on Ones, Slim Nation One on Ones page, and or go to my YouTube channel and put in Shona Swinson, and her video will pop up. We've had two with her telling her story, her experiences that she had in life, and I think we have two others where the both of us did a show. But go back and watch the video of her and I talking about her experience when she was growing up here in the city of Portsmouth We talked a little bit about our high school days and but mostly about her experience, and you're gonna really uh, be intrigued by, you know, how she uh, how strong she is and how she made it through a very difficult time, you know. And during difficult times, it's all about protecting your children. That motherly instinct and fatherly instinct is to protect your children at all costs. So, yeah, so let that be an opening for you to go back and watch the conversation that Shona and I had. Was it beginning of this year or was this year? And just go back and check that out, and you know a little bit about her, and you'll know what why we kind of decided to come together. We felt kind of a connection there, and it just has to be sort of cultivated and worked on to the point where it works. And I truly believe it's going to work. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, I'm really going to go now. Have to go out in the backyard and cut some bushes. And it's one of those days where it's not too hot. I did some yesterday. One thing when you get older, you learn how to pace yourself. You want to do things. You want to do what you're able to do, but you learn how to pace yourself to the point where you you can't do everything like you used to, and no use trying to fool yourself. But you want to stay active and do some things that you know that are in your limits of doing. It's all about pacing yourself. So I did some yesterday, and I will do some today. But yesterday was a little hot, and I got out there, and I shouldn't have been out in the heat. I didn't faint, I didn't fall out or anything, but it was a little too hot for me to be out there. But it's much cooler today. I might wait for it to cool off a little bit more to tackle these other bushes in the backyard. But we, yeah, it was in January that we did that, Shona. Thanks. I hope you all are seeing the chats that Shona is putting up here. So that's showing you right now how we work together. So uh, imagine seeing her live, and she's a beautiful young lady, and um, you enjoy looking at her more than looking at me. It probably uh, help the views. So you won't have to look at me the whole time. Uh, but anyway, but her substance and what she has to share is even more intriguing than we could be on the radio and be just as intriguing. Even if you didn't see us, because her story is just that powerful, and her humor is just that powerful. Didn't mean to talk that much about her, but when I saw her come on, uh, yeah, 86. Yeah, oh yeah. Where she is now is pretty hot now. If it's 86, I'm not in the yard. No, nowhere in the world. I'm in the yard. I think this week is down in the 70s, which is good compared to the last few days where it's been in the 80s and gotten up to the 90s. So you'll never see me in the yard at that rate. I younger used to play basketball in 90-degree weather and even in the snow. That's how much energy we had to burn off, or how bad we wanted to play to play ball or just get out the house. That was the main thing. And it wasn't us getting out the house, it's our parents putting us out the house. That's another story, and we'll talk about that as well. We'll talk about some of those childhood upbringings. And so stay tuned. Stay tuned. I've been rambling almost an hour, but just look at it. Just make sure you watch my channel, even if you don't watch all of this. So and that's why I keep mentioning it. Watch my channel and stay tuned for the Slim Nation one-on-ones with a variety of guests I have, as well as the Slim and Shona show. So take care. We'll see you and have a good week. And who knows, I might pop up again, or we might pop up before the week is out. Who knows? The shadow do. Yeah, if you know what I'm talking about, I know you've been around for a while. The shadow. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time. And always remember to be aware, be informed, and most of all, be involved, y'all.